Good evening and welcome. My name is Camden Flater, and I am a member of the senior class for this year. To open up, I would like to say just a few of the reasons why I decided to come here to Mount St. Joseph. The first reason is ultimately the biggest reason why I decided to attend this school, and that was my faith. Being raised in a Catholic family all my life helped my faith become a central part of who I am, and I knew that I wanted that aspect in the high school I would be attending. St. Joe is very centered around the faith, and that's what drew me in. The prayers before and after school, before every class, and Mass on First Fridays, and school-wide Masses every couple weeks or so. The second reason why I chose Mount St. Joseph was the rigor of the academic curriculum. In middle school, I was a pretty good student. When I started looking into high schools, I wanted a place that would prepare me for the next phase of my life. I had heard nothing but good things about St. Joe. People were telling me how this school prepares you for college and how the teachers are here to help you, and they're there for you and when you don't understand and need extra help. This was important to me as I wanted a challenge, but I also wanted teachers who cared for me as well for my well-being. At St. Joe, each year, I found a new way to challenge myself academically by taking mostly honors courses, and this year even taking AP classes. I've been an honor roll student with my best academic year being last year, my junior year. I felt like this is partially because it was the first year where I got to explore and choose my classes. So I took classes that I was very interested in, such as honors genetics and honors modern America with Mr. Campbell. I also have been active in the school community in extracurricular activities such as Model UN, Chess Club, and the Foreign Language Honor Society. I've been part of both Model UN and Chess Club since my freshman year, and they're a lot of fun to me. Chess is more of a hangout club since there's only friendly competitions and you don't have to worry about playing people from other schools. Model UN is the club which has done the most for me as an individual. This club helped me learn how to formulate and defend positions, and helped me learn how to research and write papers, but most importantly, this club helped with my public speaking. Before that club, I could have not have done this. I would have been terrified, and I'd be running the opposite direction. Teachers were also a big help, pushing me to my full potential. Mrs. Gonzalez, Ms. Doherty, and Mr. Campbell have been the three biggest influences here while at St. Joe. Mrs. Gonzalez and Ms. Doherty helped me figure out what I was interested in and what subjects I may want to pursue in college. Now I am interested in majoring in biology and minoring in Spanish in college. Mr. Campbell, however, was a no-nonsense teacher. Everything had a deadline, and if you didn't meet it, there was no credit. This pushed me to stay on top of my work, and he would always tell us like it is. If you couldn't write his papers or do his outlines, then you weren't ready for college because it was only a fraction of the work that you would have to do later. The last reason I chose St. Joe over other schools was because I not only wanted to be challenged academically and spiritually, but also physically. Coming to St. Joe, I knew that it wasn't going to be easy getting around because of the hills and the landscape of the campus. I embraced this challenge. For those of you who know me personally, you know that I am not one to give up easily or listen to those saying what I can and cannot do. On my first day of school here, they told me no one had ever gone 4 years in a manual wheelchair here, and they asked me if I wanted to switch to an electric scooter. I said no. I was determined to be the first, and I would say that I have conquered the challenge. Lastly, an aspect of St. Joe that will stick with me long after I graduate is the friendships I have made here. At St. Joe, we say classmates for 4 years, but brothers for life. I can honestly say that my friends here are truly my brothers. We may not always see eye to eye, but in the end, we have each other's backs, and we are here for each other. After St. Joe, I hope to go to college to further my studies to find a job that I love and enjoy doing. None of this would be possible without all of you. Thank you for giving to the school to make tuition more affordable for students like me and giving young men the opportunity to be challenged and to make friendships that'll last forever. Most importantly, thank you for helping boys become both men who matter and men that God intends them to be. Thank you.
Hey, hi everyone. Thank you for coming, and thank you, Mr. Campbell. My name is Nicholas Jones, and I'm a senior here at Mount St. Joe. Making the decision to come here in the winter of my 8th grade year was an odd one to many. I came from a school based in an area where over half the graduating class would move on to attend Archbishop Spalding in Severn. However, I wanted something different than the rest. I wanted a school where I didn't have to worry about how my hair was combed every day, how preppy I needed to dress in front of some girls. On my shadow visit at the Mount, everything felt like home. Before St. Joe, I was foreign to the thought of being brothers for life. What did that even mean, I asked. For that exact reason, I chose to come here, and it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made up to this point. In my freshman year, I started as an average college prep student with straight A's, but a workload that wasn't very rigorous. As time went on at St. Joe, I challenged myself to take harder classes, find different methods of studying, and never forgetting to work hard on my assignments. This mindset stayed true ever since the end of my freshman year. Today you'll see me in only AP and honors level classes, pushing myself to understand the sometimes perplexing and complicated material we're learning. Personally, I've been blessed to have some teachers here at Mount St. Joe that made me think about life a little differently. Mr. Campbell made a huge impact on my high school career. In the start, Mr. Campbell was the first teacher to have faith in me as he added me as a freshman to the JV soccer team. As a selfish and moody freshman I was, I needed a reality check, and Mr. Campbell set me pretty straight. I remember thinking about transferring out just because I wasn't getting the playing time I thought I deserved. But Mr. Campbell quickly made me realize that high school soccer and life in general is never a one-man show, and that as a team we'll win some games. We went on to win a majority of games that season, and we finished third in the league with players who are today playing at the D1 level in college. Many people that know me would probably say my friendships are like family. Through the Mount, I've met some of the greatest friends a teenager could ever ask for. People that you feel comfortable hanging around with in your own skin, without any worries of being judged or treated like you're an odd one out. These guys alone have gotten me through problems they weren't even aware of, with simply their presence and their company. The best part about my friends is each person is so unique in their own way, however yet so different than the rest of the group. I'll be forever grateful to the Mount for bringing me together with such a great group of friends that I'll have for life. Outside of school, I've been able to get involved in various activities regarding service and sports. This year I worked as a volunteer at the Appalachian Mountain Service Project. As a group of more than 70 people, we drove from Maryland to a small town in Kentucky where houses were broken down, moldy, and had things growing all inside and outside of them. The owners and families living in these homes were some of the most genuine, grateful, and hopeful people I'd ever met. This didn't seem to make any sense to me. How could these people that are so close to having nothing seem to have so much hope for the future? Some days I would go up and climb the mountains with the family whose house I was working on. As we finally reached the peak, I can only think about how lucky I was to meet these people, these totally random people who started to feel like family. In many ways, this experience relates to the guys I call my brothers here at the Mount. Each and every one of us has our own story to tell, our own struggle, and our own talents. All from different backgrounds, different social statuses, and different beliefs. The school has not only shaped me for the present, but for the future as well. As the college application process has been on its way, I've been able to take some time to reflect on the amazing education this school has provided me. A huge lesson I learned here is that you can do anything you want in this world if you have the will and desires to do it. You must have the will and desires to do it. With this dream and hard work ethic in mind, I've applied to 9 prestigious colleges all around the country. I hope to pursue my dream of being a surgeon one day and attending Clemson University in South Carolina. Through this school alone, the students have been connected by a brotherhood that goes beyond the fields, beyond the classroom, and beyond the school itself. I'll forever thank the Mount for the experiences that helped me grow into the man I am today. On a final note, I want to thank the supporters, alumni, faculty, and staff, and parents in the room for everything you've done for the students here at Mount St. Joe. From your constant generosity and love for the school, you truly made it a better place for all of us. Thank you.